Are you just a Christian because you were born that way? You know, I had a friend some years ago who was an atheist, and one of the challenges he'd often make to my Christian faith, he'd say, Andy, let's be honest, the only reason you're a Christian, the only reason you claim to follow Jesus is not because of reasons or evidence, but because you were raised in the UK. And the UK is, nominally a Christian country. If you've been born in Thailand, you'd be a Buddhist. Born in Pakistan, you'd be a Muslim. And he said, on top of that, your family, your mum and dad are Christians. And so the only reason you're a Christian is because of your family upbringing. It is purely the way that you were born, the way that you were raised that determines your Christian faith. And I remember when I first heard that, being quite challenged by that and thinking about how to respond. But actually, something occurred to me very early on. I remember when he tried this argument about the 6th or 7th time on me, I looked at him and I said, John, just out of interest, I said, of course, you're an atheist. We know this. We argue often. Tell me, your mum and dad, your parents, are they Christians? Do they have any kind of religious faith? And he proudly went, oh, no, they've got no time for any of that religious nonsense. I went, oh, interesting. Maybe you're just an atheist because you were born that way, because of how you'd been raised. Evidence has got nothing to do with it. I said, furthermore, I don't think the UK really is a Christian country. The UK looks increasingly secular. So maybe you're just an atheist because you're growing up in a secular society like modern Britain. And the problem is, if you're an atheist who wants to write religious belief off as just born that way, you actually end up chainsawing off the branch on which the flightless dodo of atheism is perched. You chop off your own position in the process. But I think we can go further than that too, and say the idea that you're just a Christian because of the way that you were born and the upbringing you had ignores the fact that the Christian faith, the church, has always changed and transformed and moved through cultures. Christianity began as a Middle Eastern faith with Jesus and his first followers and the early church there in the Middle East. Then it spreads out of the Middle East and into Asia and across into North Africa and then into Europe, and it becomes a European faith. Then Christianity moves with the Pilgrim Fathers to America, and it becomes an American faith. But it hasn't stopped there, because the church has continued to move through cultures. Now the largest Christian populations in the world are found in places like South America or Africa, where there are 400 million Christians, up from 9 million in 1900. China, for example, is on track to become the world's most populous Christian country as the church grows like wildfire there. You can't pin Christianity down to a single culture in the same way that you can to a degree with Buddhism, or certainly Islam, where Islam began as an Arabic faith, it's remained an Arabic faith. But there's another issue going on, I think, that demonstrates that the claim born that way is false, and it ignores the whole issue of conversion. I have many, many friends who are not born Christians. They were born atheists or skeptics or humanists or naturalists, and they've become Christians. And then I have many friends who were born Muslims and have become Christians. One of my dear friends for many years, his name was Nabil Qureshi, sadly died a year or so ago. But Nabil's story is amazing. He was born and raised in Pakistan, and then his family came to America. Very committed Muslims. In fact, they were Muslim missionaries, and he loved evangelizing for his Muslim faith. But then at university, and over the course of several years, he encountered Christian friends who challenged him, and over about a 7-year process, he investigated the claims of Jesus and Christianity, compared them with Islam, and came to the tough, difficult conclusion that the faith in which he'd been raised, Islam, was false, and that Christianity was true. He converted, became a follower of Jesus, and not merely a follower, became a powerful advocate for the Christian faith, and led many other Muslims to become followers of Jesus. He's written his story in the book Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus. Wonderful book to read. But one final thought for you. We live in an age where diversity is celebrated. People love the idea of diversity. Yet many people who say they like diversity actually just live surrounded by people who and their friends and their communities are just like them. The church, on the other hand, is truly diverse and always has been. The church with a capital C, the global church, really genuinely contains people from every tribe and tongue and nation and background. This incredibly diverse community of people united around the fact they follow Jesus, who draws all people to him. Jesus reaches out to you no matter what your cultural background and says, come and follow me. It doesn't matter where you've come from, but if you put your faith in Jesus, you can be sure where it is you are going.